Number five, back and boat. Have you ever taken the rides on the boat? Yes, actually, one memory that stand out was school trips to an adventure camps on an island. We had to take a boat to get there, which was already exciting in itself. One of the activity was kayaking, and my classmate and I paddled out into the open sea together. I still remember being right in the middle of the water with the sunset behind us. We got this amazing photo that still look back on sometimes. And this is one of those memories that just stick with me. So, do you like traveling by boats? Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of traveling by boats. I tend to get seasick pretty easily, and the constant rocking just make me feel uncomfortable. Even the view is stunning. Cruises are a completely different story, though. The sheer size of those ships keep them remarkably stable. It's honestly feel like walking on a solid ground, and with all amenities on board, like casino, food courts, and water parks. There's so much to keep you entertained that you barely even notice you're out at sea. So I would happily sail on a cruise, just not a regular boat. Do people in your country like to travel by boat? In my country, I would say most people prefer flying over traveling by boat. And honestly, it makes sense. Flights are significantly faster and generally considered far safer, especially for long distances. Boat travel does still exist, particularly for shorter coastal routes or island hopping, but this is no rarely as popular as air travel. I think as budget airline have caught on over the years, viewers and viewers people bother with both unless they absolutely have to. Do you like back? And honestly, I'm not really a bad person. If anything, I prefer a backpack since it is much more practical and keep my hands free. Or even better, I like a jacket with plenty of pockets. That's where I have got everything I need without having to lug around anything extra. I just don't like the feeling of being weighed down. I suppose I value convenience and mobility over style. What do you put in this bag? I usually keep the everyday essentials, like wallets, keys, maybe some bandages and hands sanitizer, just in case. But the one thing I always make sure to bring is a book. I'm generously trying to cut down on screen time and avoid that minus doom scrolling. So whenever I have spare moments, I would rather pick up the book than wish for my phone. I think it is just much healthier habit overall. What sort of bags do women like to buy? From what I have observed, women tend to gravitate towards luxury designer handbags like Gucci, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, or Chanel, you name it. They rarely go for more affordable options like unicorns or high street brands. There's clearly a huge appeal in owning something crafted by a renowned designer. It's not just about the bag itself, but what it represents. Carrying a luxury bag in a social setting or at work keep a certain sense of prestige and status. Is a way of making statements without saying a word. Number six, birthdays. What did you usually do on your birthday when you were a child? When I was a child, my birthdays were always something I looked forward to. We would usually start with lavish dinners as a restaurant with family, then head over to find place for a sleepover, board games, lots of laughter, the whole thing. They was always prepared as a chocolate cake, and I would take loads of photos to capture those special moments. And of course, the highlight was already making a wish and blowing out the candles. That past never get old, even as a kid. Is your birthday now still as important to you as when you're a child? Some people argue that birthday lose their significance as you get older. This is just the Earth competing another orbit around the Sun, a reminder that we are 1 year closer to death. But I see it differently right now. For me, a birthday is actually a wonderful excuse to catch up with old friends and family, people you might not otherwise see for months, or that's opportunity for genuine face-to-face connection honestly means far more to me than the birthday itself. Do you think that it is important to give someone a card when it's their birthday? When it is their birthday? Absolutely, I think writing a birthday card for someone is really meaningful, and not just because of the message itself. There's something about handwriting that feels deeply personal. It reflects a level of affection, a genuine warmth that a text message simply can't replicate. And regardless of what gift come with it, true fans will always appreciate the gesture. Even something small and inexpensive becomes significant when it comes from someone who genuinely remembers and cares enough to mark the occasion.